Hi everyone, I'm here to read you a book. It's called Harriet, You'll Drive Me Wild, and it's by Mem Fox. As we read today, I'm going to go through some reading strategies to help us get a better understanding of the book. Here we go. Harriet, You'll Drive Me Wild. Maybe some of us can relate to this. Harriet, You'll Drive Me Wild. Harriet Harries was a pesky child. She didn't mean to be, she just was. And right here we could use the reading strategy of making a connection. Do you know a pesky child? Are you a pesky child? I don't know. Maybe we all can be pesky sometimes. One morning at breakfast, she knocked over a glass of juice. Just like that. You can see she's kind of upside down on her spot. Her feet are on the table. That is a little pesky, for sure. Her mother didn't like to yell, so instead she said, "Harriet, my darling child." "I'm sorry," said Harriet, and she was. And sometimes one of the strategies we like to do when we're reading is we try to learn from the book. So I thought maybe we could learn no yelling. That's a good one. At snack time, she dribbled jam all over her jeans, just like that. Her mother didn't like to yell, so instead she said, "Harriet, my darling child, Harriet, you'll drive me wild." "I'm sorry," said Harriet, and she was. Before lunch, when Harriet was painting a picture, she dribbled paint onto the carpet, just like that. Uh-oh, paint on the carpet. Does the mom look happy? I don't know. I don't think so. Her mother didn't like to yell, so instead she said, "Harriet, my darling child, Harriet, you'll drive me wild. Harriet, sweetheart, what are we to do?" "I'm sorry," said Harriet, and she was. At lunch, Harriet slid off her chair and the tablecloth came with her, just like that. I'm going to show you this one close up, and I'm going to think maybe we should think about how the character is feeling. Maybe we need to think about the mom. How does the mom feel? Or maybe we also need to think about Harriet. How does Harriet feel? I think the mom might be getting a little frustrated. Just a guess. Harriet might feel bad too, right? Her mother didn't like to yell, so instead she said, "Harriet, my darling child, Harriet, you'll drive me wild. Harriet, sweetheart, what are we to do?" "Harriet Harries, I'm talking to you." "I'm sorry," said Harriet, and she was. And I think this is a good time to remind ourselves of a little character education. Be empathetic. That means you can put yourself in someone else's shoes. So if you're a child, you could think about how your mom would be feeling. And if you're the mom, you could think about how Harriet's feeling. Sometimes it's good to do that. Later that afternoon, when Harriet was napping, was meant to be napping, she ripped a pillow open. Just like that. 1,000 feathers flew in every direction. Oh my goodness. Harriet, how could you? There was a terrible silence. Dun, dun, dun. Then Harriet's mother began to yell, and she yelled, and she yelled, and yelled. And I think this is a good time to remind us that sometimes we all make mistakes, Harriet and her mom. I'm sorry, Harriet cried. I'm really, really sorry. She's really saying sorry. Her mother took a deep breath. Deep breaths can help. We all need them. I know you are, she said, hugging Harriet tight. I'm sorry too. I shouldn't have yelled, and I wish I hadn't, but sometimes it happens, just like that. And I think this is a good part to realize that we might learn a lesson from the story. Say sorry when you made a mistake. It's a good thing to do. Big mess, said Harriet. A very big mess, said her mother. And she started to laugh. And they laughed and laughed and went on laughing as they picked up feathers together. And from that, we can learn one final reading strategy where we think about the lesson in the book again, and that is that laughter can cure a lot. I hope you enjoyed reading this kind of funny book for the times, and I hope you enjoyed all of our reading strategies that we did while we were reading it. Have a great day. I miss everyone.